Welcome to the April Garrison update. As always, we have a packed agenda, so we will run through this as quickly as possible. Thanks, as always, to the Red Cross for providing us coffee. Much appreciated. And also, we have a lot of folks over here to my right that have information tables set up, so if you didn't get a chance to visit those on your way in, please take a minute to stop by on your way out. And with that, I will turn it over to Colonel Percival.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. First, I'd like to welcome everyone to the community update. Again, as Alicia said, we got a lot of good information. Before we get to that, we want to get to some recognition for awards, or at least recognition. So, Chief Buys, what do you got?
All right. Good morning, everybody. So we have a couple of folks we want to recognize today. First off, actually, we'll call them both up at the same time. So, Miss Desiree Mendiola from CYS Parent Central Services Office, come on up. And then also Staff Sergeant Matthew Stewart from the 627th Comm Squadron. All right, so first off, Miss Mendiola, she's being recognized today for performing a life-saving act while at work. So on the 9th of March, Miss Mendiola recognized that a coworker was in distress. In fact, she was choking. Without hesitation, Miss Mendiola jumped in and performed a life-saving act, aka the Heimlich maneuver, in order to save that individual, averting a 911 call and further injury to that coworker. So for that, she's being recognized this morning. And we have an Air Force member as well here that we're recognizing, and that is Staff Sergeant Matthew Stewart of the 627th Air Base Group and the 627th Comm Squadron. He's a knowledge management specialist, and he's being recognized for outstanding community service. And actually, he was supposed to be recognized back in December. Due to schedules and TDYs, we finally got him. So, welcome this morning. So about Sergeant Stewart, he's a Thurston County Reserve Sheriff's Deputy. Over the course of the last year, he completed the Thurston County Reserve Police Academy, dedicating 220 hours of off-duty time to a highly intensive course, and graduated with a test average of 88% in September of last year. Since graduation, Sergeant Stewart has dedicated over 100 hours of volunteer time on active patrol with the Thurston County Sheriff's Department. He's responded to 35 calls, resulting in 2 arrests for DUI and felony drug possession. Sergeant Stewart's dedication to civic duty has a direct impact on the safety of over 280,000 local residents and epitomizes the Air Force core value of service before self. And for that reason, he's been recognized this morning.
All right, another round of applause, please. Good. All right, General Graham, sir, do you have anything, comments for the group?
I guess it's spring break, and we've got a lot of folks out right now. Did you give the Garrison commander a break, did you?
Sir, yes, yeah.
Okay. And we've got
Just this one time.
We've got a lot of First Corps heading out to Fort Hood for an exercise. Just want to thank everybody for the great teamwork the community pulled together during the housing challenges that we've had. I know General Leschi talked to that 2 weeks ago, but we're not taking our eye off the ball. That's our commitment to you all, is that we're going to continue to watch that closely. And I'm standing by if anybody has any questions on that. Let me know. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Colonel Furman.
Piggyback on what the general said. So we're all in on that, and agree that the leadership needs to stay on top of it and let all players know that we're in for the long haul with them. So that is what we're concerned about. And wanted to say thanks for the support with the Gray Army Airfield. I'll share with you, last week we had a pretty awesome send-off to Colonel Joe Jackson. So if those of you didn't know about it, they asked all Air Mobility Command if somebody wanted to support that, to send him on his last flight to Dover and then over to Arlington for a flyover for his burial with his family. So they asked all Air Mobility Command, but I said there is no other base that's going to do that except for McChord and Joint Base Lewis McChord, because we have a street named after him, we have an aircraft named after him, and the support we had at the Gray Army Airfield side with the respect, and I can tell you that the family, particularly the mother, his wife rather, and his daughter were really overwhelmed at the support by all of Joint Base Lewis McChord. So thanks all for that. It was just a special moment.
Thanks, Mark. All right, Alicia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ted Solinar, Deputy Director of Emergency Services. I asked for a couple of minutes this morning to talk to you about the reinitiation of high-speed rail through JBLM starting sometime in the next few months. We don't have a specific date. For those of you that were here in December of 2017, you got a real good taste of what this potentially could mean. I want to really kind of drive some points home that I really need your help with our folks to promote safety. And I've got a video here that was taken on the 23rd of March, just this last month, when they were doing some full-speed tests coming through the corridor. Can you go and back up real quick? But some points that your folks really need to understand. These are not passenger trains. Passenger trains typically run at about 35 miles an hour. These trains are going to be traveling somewhere between 70 and 79 miles an hour when they cross through the installation. The entire crossing at the various points on the installation is timed to take no more than 1 minute. That's from the time the lights turn, to the bells, to the arms down, to the train crossing, to the arms going back up. I think, Joe Peak, you timed that last one at about 50 seconds. At that speed, if somebody's on the tracks, there's zero chance for that train operator to see it, identify it, and stop that train in time. It's about 1.5 miles to 2 mile stopping time for a Sound Transit train at those speeds. Amtrak, it's even further because they're heavier trains. We have one of the most dangerous crossings here on JBLM for the entire span of that between JBLM Liberty Gate and JBLM 41st Gate going into North Fork, coming right off of the freeway. We expect between 10 and 14 runs a day when they're at full capacity. And again, we don't know when that's going to start. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Before I run that video, I want to point out a couple of things. This is the crossing going into Lewis North coming off of the freeway. So as you're going out Liberty Gate straight across, this is the same crossing. This is the ramp coming off of the freeway going southbound to I-5. A couple of things I want to point out before we run the video, and you're going to kind of see what my area of concern is. Notice that light is red. The light that you can't see just right here, just coming off of the ramp, is red. The lights for the train crossing are flashing. The train is sounding the horn, and bear in mind, this was just a couple of weeks ago, so I really need you to help drive this. Can you go ahead and run the video? Maybe? Gotta love technology. Lower left-hand corner. All right, everything's flashing. Lights are flashing. Check that vehicle out. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. I am not kidding you. This just happened. This is another angle. That light over there is a train coming. The motorist came off the ramp, didn't recognize that the intersection was closing, and stopped on the tracks. That train is traveling over 70 miles an hour as it comes through the intersection. Please get that word out. This is an extremely dangerous intersection. When you're coming off the ramps or crossing, those lights are designed to turn red to keep you off of it. Just for a little bit of effect, we hung on to watch this thing actually go through. There is zero chance of surviving that impact, ladies and gentlemen. So please, please, please help me get the word out to our folks as this starts up. We will push the schedule out. We will tell you when this starts for real, but they are running tests over the weekend. This is going to be extremely important for those that traverse back and forth between the two sides, because this is the one intersection that poses the greatest risk. If you're coming out of DuPont or you're coming out of Lakewood using either the Madigan or the McChord main gate or the DuPont gate, you are also going to be affected by rail crossings, at-grade rail crossings. So it's not just our crossing, but this is the one we have the greatest probability within the corridor to put somebody out in front of to do exactly what this individual just did. And I assure you they didn't do it intentionally. They simply did not pay attention to the lights. So please help me get the word out. Any questions for me? Thank you very much. Sir, after you.
I'm Steve Perno, Director of Public Works. I cannot compete with that. These next three slides will probably be boring to compare to what you just saw. look outside, it doesn't look like construction weather, but it's here, and we're already starting construction on the outside. I'm going to go through 3 quick slides. Upper center is what we call Delta Block. It has been awarded for demolition of over 100 World War II buildings that were here temporarily for 80 years. About 2 months ago, we've sent out through the senior NCO channels that there's connexes out there that belong to units. Most have been moved. There are some still out there. The contractor owns this area. He's going to block it off, so if you have connexes there, you probably won't have access to that very soon. So please check if you got connexes there. You got to move them out there, or they're going to be there for the next, I don't know, until through November, and you're not going to be able to get to them. These little circles on the right side, that's the intersection of where Beechwood Elementary School is and American Lake. They're going to close that intersection for about 3 or 4 weeks. So that will prevent you going from Lewis North down to south, or going from American Lake going into the area where the AFE's shop at is. There is a bypass to get to this back area. It's Chicago Avenue. I apologize to the 15 duplexes that are there. They're going to have a lot of traffic for about a month. So signs will be out for all construction 2 weeks prior on the site, so please read the signs. This area here that's by our water treatment plant that goes it's heavily traveled. It's going to be shut down for quite a while, just like that last year we did in front of the museum. Again, read the signs. You will not be able to use that area for probably at least a month. The next intersection is a small area, about 200 feet, but it's going to stop traffic again going this way. It's right at the motor pool. It's about 200 feet. Should not take more than about 4 or 5 days. We're going to try to do it over a long weekend, so it's a minimum impact to the community. Next slide, please. I apologize, bad. This is Eastgate Road, so if you're from Spanaway or Graham or Yelm, you use 507 all the time. You turn left or right and go on Eastgate Road through the trains, and you come in where the C5 mock-up is. This road, 7th Infantry Division, has been closed for the last 2 months. It's going to remain closed for another month plus, into May at least, as we improve that. And for a period of about a month, this is a shortcut for a lot of people that go to East Yelm or Graham. That will be closed for about a month. Again, signs should be out there at least 2 weeks before. Please read the signs. Next slide, please. This Gray Army Airfield is right here, where the Banana Belt, or where the barracks are for 16th Cav and 42nd MP Brigade, that we continue to put gas lines in. PSC's doing that. Usually closes only for a day or two at different locations. It's an active construction site. We have not seen or heard any problems there. As far as first SBCT area, there's a road in this area that's going to be closed. Again, it usually takes about a month. They're going to be moving from different locations. There's 2 contractors that are doing that. Railroad Avenue, that's by Clarkdale, that's going to be closed also. These circles in here, or these 4 circles right here. Railroad crossings, they're deteriorating terribly. We've got to go in there to do that. Those are about a week long. They're side roads on railroad. They are not railroad themselves, so Mounts Road will not be impacted. So if you use Mount Roads Gate coming in or going out, it should not impact you at all, except, again, there's going to be signs out there. Some roads will be locally closed. We'll be doing parking lots in the historic area. That'll take 2 to 3 weeks. Westway, where Red Cross is, we're going to take that out, so that'll be closed. So if you're going out DuPont Gate, you're going to have to use Kaufman versus Westway. And then right by in front of the fire station, we're going to have to fix that. If you ask questions, why are we always doing these different roads? They're selected through what we call a test, which is pavement condition index. They go out there and test it, and we go to the worst roads first. So if you're saying, well, why isn't the roads being done over here or over here? These are the worst conditions that we're doing, so we're doing worst first. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Alicia Grady, Director of Personnel and Family Readiness. Just want to put another reminder out. I know Colonel Lucas sent this out in her biweekly commander's message, but these are the Home Alone guidelines for JBLM. We put these together in conjunction with Child and Youth Services, and B. Westcott Curl is here as well. Because we're middle of spring break, and then of course summer is just around the corner, these are the guidelines for levels of supervision and then also for babysitting. So please take note of these. If I know a lot of folks have questions, especially during summer break, of how long can I leave my child home alone, what is appropriate. And then there's always other options that we do have for Child and Youth Services. So if you have any questions with regard to that, either myself or B can answer those after. Okay. And Joe.
Good morning, JBLM. I'm Joe Peak. I'm the JBLM Garrison Public Affairs Officer, and good morning to you. Since 2004, JBLM has had a Civilian Hall of Fame, and last week we inducted the 25th member into the Hall of Fame. That was Miss Mary Findley. For 7 years, she ran the Suits for Service Members program here on base to provide business attire to transitioning servicemen and women. And so Mary was inducted as our 25th inductee. Sadly, Mary passed away back in December, so her daughter, Sarah Lenz, was here to accept the award on her behalf. We are now, through October, accepting nominations for civilians, and these are civilians who, for 3 or more years, contribute on a great scale to our servicemen and women and to the JBLM community. So if you would like to nominate a civilian that your command or your agency works with, if you'd like to nominate them for the Civilian Hall of Fame program, you can see me afterwards, or you can call us at the JBLM Garrison Public Affairs Office at 253-967-0148 or 0168. And while I have the microphone, I have another announcement, but I don't have a slide. On Monday was the Girl Scout cookie drop. For the past several years, as people are buying Girl Scout cookies here in the Pacific Northwest, they can also buy an extra box or two from the Girl Scouts to have donated to servicemen and women, to service members here in the Northwest. On Monday, 98,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies were delivered to the USO Shally Center here on McChord Field. Many of those boxes got picked up by units across the base, but not all. There are still 13 pallets of Girl Scout cookies at the Shally Center, and they are meant for service members. That's who they're meant for. So we would like to see those get distributed. And I talked to Andrew Oskowitz this morning. He runs the USO Shally Center here on McChord Field, and he's getting more cookies delivered from the Girl Scouts in May. So if you have a sweet tooth out there in your unit, give Andrew a call. He would like to see all of these cookies picked up. Here's his phone number, 360-951-2860. Any questions? Thank you much. I will turn it over to Madigan.
Good morning. I'm Colonel Susie Scott, the Deputy Commanding Officer at Madigan Army Medical Center. So I've just got a couple slides for you this morning, if we could flip to the next one. April is the month of the military child, and we've got a lot of great activities going on at Madigan for our military kids. Just earlier this week, we had Elmo in the building. You can check out our Facebook site and see the great pictures that we took of all the kids in awe, and all the adults too, in awe with Elmo. So great happenings going on. And then the Kids Fest that's happening this Thursday, Madigan providers will have a presence there at the Kids Fest. So if you have questions for our pediatricians or our school-based health folks, please stop by and see them. They're going to be there to answer your questions. And then finally, on the 26th of this month, we are holding our next town hall on Facebook, and that's going to be pediatrics focused. So we've got our normal crew of pediatricians, our school-based health folks that'll be on our Facebook town hall. And then we've also got the Military Kids Connect facility from DHA. Their experts will be there and available online for that as well. So next slide. We are starting to get into the season of PCSs. I know we're starting to already see some folks flow into Madigan. This is a significant change for folks that are coming to JBLM from other installations for us and for them from a military health record perspective because TRICARE Online, as you all well know, does not work here with MHS Genesis. So I'm going to continue to put a plug out for the login so that folks can get the accounts to be able to log in electronically so you can access electronic health records. So it's the DS login you have to go in through. If you have troubles doing that, the number's here on this slide to be able to make that work. We've got flyers throughout the facility if you have folks, and then we'll continue to provide this information on a monthly basis until we get through the summer PCS season with that. Next slide. And then I wanted to close out measles. I know that there has been some significant concern throughout the state over the last couple of months with regard to measles. We've had I got to put my glasses on the right way. There have been a total of 74 cases throughout Washington state confirmed. 73 of those were in Clark County near Vancouver, Washington, and then there was a single related case in King County. The good news is we had none in Thurston, none in Lewis, and none in Pierce County. And if the trend continues, we will look at being able to close this out as of the 12th of April with concerns with risks of measles. I think this is really a great testament to the community here and the concerns over both medical readiness and family readiness and the immunizations that we provide our children and watching out for the signs and symptoms. If you do have family members that are concerned, the symptoms of measles are listed on this slide and also some directions of what you can do to be able to get additional information on that. But I think after this briefing, this will be the last one that we're going to have to focus on concerns about the measles going forward. So, next slide. So again, we continue to be available and accessible to you through multimedia sources, and some of the connections are here online. I'd also like, before I close out, to point out that Mike Sadler from Intrepid Spirit is here in the back with information on TBI. I know we talked about TBI last month, but want to make sure he's still there, and if you had additional questions for that. So, subject to your questions, that's...
Yes, ma'am. I had a question.
Yes, sir.
I've been getting some folks asking me about when they move from this station, they PCS this summer, since we've transitioned to MHS Genesis. When you're going into a station that does not have MHS Genesis, and is that rearward looking, when he goes to the new duty station, can they see what's in your MHS Genesis or not? How does that work?
That's a great question. The answer is yes. When individuals PCS from here to another duty location, their records are still viewable at any other duty station that they go to. We have a program called Joint Legacy Viewer, and that allows individuals, healthcare providers at other installations to be able to take a look in and reach in and see the records for MHS Genesis. Similarly, we use Joint Legacy Viewer to be able to view Alta and Accentris records from those other locations now. So you don't have to bring hard copy records. We can go in and see those electronic versions. We can also see, through Joint Legacy Viewer, we can see visits in electronic health records at our community partners and the VA as well. So thank you for that question. All right, thank you very much. Oh, you do need that back, don't you?
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Chris Cavan, Deputy DP TAMS Director, filling in for Buck James, who's currently on the East Coast until next Tuesday, and I believe he is fully clothed, was the question that was asked. In terms of the key events that are coming up, as the only reminder is the personal shred has ended and has continued to not run, and believe all of these will be covered by follow-on speakers. Thank you.
Good morning, Beth Ellis, your JBLM Ready and Resilient Integrator. Just wanted to let you know that we're running, in partnership with AAFES, a pilot for healthy vending. So last time I was up here talking to you guys about our healthy DFACs, so you will continue to see me talking about healthy stuff, and because you're going to be very full from 13 pallets of Girl Scout cookies, please consider these options as we're working to try and improve kind of the quick, convenient, healthy options. If you guys can take a look, there should be a flyer on your table. There's the locations for the 22 vending machines. At the end of June, we're going to take a look and see the usage rates, and also there is stickers that will be on the vending machines with a QR code. It's just a quick 5-minute survey, so if you guys can let us know what you thought. Did you love it? Did you not like it? More Pirates Booty? What do you guys need to see? So just wanted to let you guys know. Any questions for me? Great.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Turnipseed. I am the Cultural Resource Program Manager, as well as the Tribal Liaison for Joint Base Lewis-McChord. I wanted to bring to your attention an opportunity to go out and check out some tribal lands that are now part of Joint Base Lewis-McChord. It is the Leschi-Quiemuth Honor Walk. It's happened for the last 11 years, and it is going to be held on April 27th from 9 to 4. Next slide. The location in this map identifies we start at range 91. There are 3 options to the walk. One of them is a 12-mile bus ride that stops at different locations with interpretive signage. There is a part bus ride, a 7-mile bus ride, and a 3-mile walk, as well as a 7-mile walk along the edge of the AIA. So all of those have interpretive signage, and they have pictures, so you learn a little bit about the history and how the Nisqually tribe interacted and lived on the lands that are now part of JBLM. And we end at the Clear Creek Fish Hatchery. Next. We are going to have a bus available for military folks. We can meet at the Cary Theater at 9 o'clock. Everybody get on the bus, and we will drive that out to range 91, where we'll have opening remarks, and then from there you will choose one of the 3 routes that you want to take, and go on the 7-mile walk. Starts right from there, and then the bus ride takes off and goes around the different parts of the installation. We end up at the Clear Creek Fish Hatchery, and then when we're done there, then we'll go back to Cary Theater and back to your cars. My information is down here on the left-hand side. I will be here if you have questions afterwards. You can definitely get a hold of me. Do I have any questions now? One thing about it, there are families that bring kids. It's a family event, and so you are more than welcome to come. The Nisqually tribe really enjoys and respects when we have service members come on the walk. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy, Sustainability Outreach Coordinator for Directorate of Public Works. You might have seen our little vans running around. Go Transit gets you everywhere, all over JBLM to DuPont, and can connect you with opportunities to get you off base as well. Check out goluismcchord.com, and there's some selfie videos that you can share with the units under your command. And show the people how they can get to and from SeaTac Airport for less than $10, to and from Seattle, catch the train, catch the Amtrak train down to Portland. Just get them off base or get them around. We do have bike checkouts for up to 2 weeks. Those cruiser bikes are available at 6 different locations. And we also have van pooling options. So again, goluismcchord.com. Next slide. So again, this is Earth Month. April is Earth Month, so we don't just celebrate a week, we celebrate the whole month. And what we do is we talk about the ways that we can protect the earth, and one of the ways that we handle it here at JBLM is we make sure you're washing your car in a place where the water's going to go straight into a sanitary sewer. So that's at an MWR Autocraft shop or at a commercial car wash. Divert wash water away from storm drains. We want to make sure that only rain gets down the drain on JBLM. Next slide, please. On your tables, there's some new recycling information. This is our usual handout, but letting you know that we are no longer accepting shred in recycling, right? Shred is now trash. So be sure and put that in the garbage can. Everybody's like, how come? Well, because those fibers are cross-cut and they can no longer turn them into anything new. So they have been putting them in the garbage for a little while now. They're just like advertising it. So again, all that shredded paper is not being recycled. Be sure and put it into the garbage can. We do encourage organizations to shred their PII and their HIPAA. Now that the destruction facility is no longer with us, make sure that you either hook up with a commercial organization to set up a shred event for your organization, or get one for your unit. And the other things on here is we're no longer accepting hard plastics. Hard plastics are no longer recycled, but we do want you to bring your stuff to our recycling centers. We will accept all scrap metal, cardboard. We have a reuse facility for those of you that are PCSing, or if you've just got here. We have a place where you can take that packing material, pick up new boxes, don't have to go out and buy something new. Any questions for me? Nope. All right, we'll look forward to seeing you guys at Kids Fest. Oh, yes, sir. Hard plastic goes in the garbage. It does. We're going to take water bottles, pop bottles, stuff like that. Plastics 1 and 2, if you're looking at the bottom of the container. But plant pots, they're hard plastic toys. Those are no longer being recycled. Right? Okay, see you at Kids Fest. Thank you.
I'm Steve Perno again. I know we're talking Girl Scout cookies, giving them away, and health and everything. As an engineer, I had to do this. We're asking our service members to eat 1,764,000 Girl Scout cookies. So first sergeants and sergeant majors are probably concerned about the health of their soldiers and service members and airmen. Housing. Every quarter they compete for pride, home pride, and every quarter they give those to 2 family members, and at the end of the year, those 8 family members that have won quarterly go for an annual. These are the annual winners. They get to go for a weekend to Alderwood Resort, and they get a handful or a fistful of cash to go. So congratulations to both Specialist Williams families and Tech Sergeant Mayor's family. What we found out yesterday or the day before yesterday also is they had postponed. They had originally canceled the housing survey, but everybody was so busy doing things, they just postponed it. If you live in housing on JBLM, you should be getting, in the next week or two, a link to the housing survey for this year. So I know there's been some challenges. Please, corrective criticism. Lincoln, our partners, our learning organization, they definitely want to supply or provide the best housing possible to our service members and families. So again, if you live on the installation, expect that email from Lincoln. So any questions to me? Thank you.
Hello, Kelly Wetzel with MWR. So busy month. Tomorrow is Kids Fest. It's Month of the Military Child, and we've been doing this for almost 30 years. We pick the Thursday during spring break for Clover Park School District, and we have a party for our military children. So this year's theme is barnyard. So we actually have farm animals coming. We have great decorations in the MWR Fest tent. Lots of activities for the kids, absolutely free. Free bowling, free crafts, free everything in the MWR Fest tent. So, and it's in the afternoon, so if you can get off work a little early, get your kids and take them out to the celebration. The Military Long Drive Qualifier. This is for military members who can drive a golf ball. The prize is ultimately $10,000. So if you're a golfer and you want to compete, head out to Eagles Pride on the 10th of April for the qualifier. It does cost you $25 to join, but you get 8 chances to drive that ball as far as you can. And then we go from JBLM to Fort Jackson. In Fort Jackson, there is a CONUS competition, and from there is a worldwide competition. So that's an opportunity for you to do a little traveling and go and play golf. The 10th of April next week, we have Volksfest. Volksfest is our celebration of halfway to Oktoberfest. So We got to celebrate something. So in this room on the 10th of April, we'll have a live Oompa band up on the stage. We'll have all-you-can-eat German buffet, and then German Riesling and German beer available for purchase. We are taking reservations, so if you would like to come and do that, you can stop by the business office on the way out, and they'll sign you up. The Armed Forces Kids Run is something that we're partnering with the commissary on. And then a CG Scramble coming up at Eagles Pride. Easter brunch reservations, we're taking those right now as well. If you are particular about the time that you want to have brunch, I suggest you make your reservations now. The noon time fills up very quickly. And then the 10 a.m. seating, and then there's the 2 o'clock seating. So if you want to make your Easter brunch reservations, again, it's in this room in the club, and they'll take them in the business office. If you'd like to paint happy trees, we have a Bob Ross paint night coming up at the library. And then Latin night, which has been very, very popular. That'll be at the Sam Adams Cascade towards the end of the month. And finally, if you've got things you either want to get rid of, if you're looking to PCS soon and you don't want to take all of that stuff with you, or you maybe just got here and you're in the market for some new stuff, our spring flea market is coming up towards the end of the month. Next slide. And then to prove that we're really busy, this is all the stuff that's coming up in May and June. Everything from the Down and Dirty Mud Run, which if you register now, you'll save $5 on your price, and you'll be guaranteed a t-shirt, and you'll get the medal and all that, and then you get to get really dirty. We have an open house and a yard sale coming up at the Northwest Adventure Center, and that's a chance for you to buy some of our used equipment. We'll actually have a closed bid auction, so that's where they sell off the really good stuff. You know, sometimes there'll be canoes and kayaks, sometimes there are travel trailers, things like that, along with used skis and snowboards, those kinds of things. So they never know what they're going to be auctioning off until you get there. So that's a chance for you to see what's going on. They'll also at the open house be showing the Free Solo, the movie that won the best documentary film at the Oscars this year. They'll have a free showing of that at 2 o'clock, and then you can talk about we have a very active mountaineering program, and so they will get folks involved with that. Mother's Day brunch here at the club, and then our big celebration of Armed Forces Day, and we'll talk about that more next month. And then coming in June, the equipment sale at the MWR Supply, Sound and Arrows 12K for military runners, and the bodybuilding championship toward the end of June. Next slide. If you have anybody in your home who is over 18 and is looking for summer employment, so if you've got college kids coming home for the summer, if you've got recently graduated high school students who are looking for a job, we have an all-call summer job fair, and that's the 9th of April. There are requirements, though. They have to have a high school diploma or a GED, a photo ID, their social security card, and 4 references with their phone numbers. So if you've got folks that are looking for summer jobs, definitely clue them into this. Yes?
If your youth is not here yet, if your youth is not here yet and wants to apply, contact me. Child and Youth Services, B. Westcott Curl. It's under Sophia in the global, but we will take applications. So if they can't make it, we will have applications ready for them.
And you can also have folks apply on USA Jobs. They'll take applications that way. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sergeant Lim. I am the JBLM Boss President. So this month in March, we did a bunch of community service activities. On one day, March 9th, we actually pulled double duty, went to the Washington Soldiers Home with one of the Air Force Leadership Course classes. They actually went with us that day. We also did the Boy Scouts of America, their centennial. We helped set up their event. We also went to Building 10, which is a Washington Transitional Home, and we also helped out Suits for Service members. We're hoping to have Building 10 and the Suits for Service member be a monthly event that we'll go to so that we can help them out. Suits for Service members is a great organization, and they always need help. We are always looking for volunteers to help us size these suits out so that any ETSing service member can get the suits that they need and they'll look good at their interview. Next slide, please. And so this month for Rec and Leisure, we went to Emerald Con, We also did snowboarding, which was a free event for our single service members. We got the gear, the rental, lift ticket, and a class, all for free. We got there at 8 in the morning and left at 3 in the afternoon, and it was pretty much a fun day of sun, slopes, and a couple people did fall down a couple mountains, but they were fine. It was okay. The snow was really soft, and hopefully we're going to also do this in the coming winter season. And we also went to Boomshog, which is a nice trampoline house in Lacey, and everyone got to bounce around, try their front flip, back flip, double back flip. We got some neat videos for our service members. So all these activities, we would like to bring more and more single service members to these, see new faces from different brigades and different battalions. We do like seeing the same people, but we also want to see new people, and hopefully you guys will get more information about this. We'll have it on our Facebook page to our reps, and that we get more participation, because that's our job, and we really want to see more people at our events. Next slide, please. So for April, we are doing clam digging this weekend. We're going to go out to the beach and get our clam guns. It's a plastic tube. We stick it in the sand, and we suck up these clams, and then we're going to fry them. Another free event. The soldiers and service members will also be getting a clam license for that day, so they can keep going. We'll also, again, we're doing super service members and Easter Dash prep. So this year, Boss is taking over Easter Dash once more. It's on April 20th at Cohen Stadium. You bring your children there. All they need is a basket, and they just need to collect eggs, and they'll get a little goodie bag at the end. It's a free event for anyone on post. We do need volunteers for Easter Dash, as we are running it. Just some help with corralling kids, getting candy, getting the eggs. We're going to Building 10 again this coming month, probably to paint another quarter or to help pull one of their fences up. And an escape room, where we're going to stick everyone in a room, give them an hour. If they escape, that's good. We'll drive them back. If they don't, we won't drive them back. It's that simple. What isn't here is Mud Run. So we're also helping sports for Mud Run. So our deal is, if you help us for Mud Run Day or the week leading to it, sports will give you a free run through the Mud Run. So we need about 52 to 60 volunteers. This is open to everyone. Must be 18 years old and up. And we'll definitely be taking any names, anyone interested in helping us out. And we feel it's a good opportunity. You get to help out and you get to run. Thank you.
Good morning, Chaplain Brandt here, Garrison Chaplain. It's kind of fun following 13 pallets of Girl Scout cookies and all-you-can-eat German buffet with Lenten kind of information. So here's all the stuff that we have going on with Lent. If you're looking at giving up things for Lent, we'll encourage you on that. This is our Catholic Lenten services. There's a whole lot of events that are going on the Catholic side of the house. Next slide is our Protestant side. Several events going on there as well. Those are all included in the slides. They're included in our JBLM religious support Facebook page as well. There's one event that's not listed up there, and that's our Jewish Passover Seder. It's going to be April 19th. It's going to be at 4 Chaplains Memorial Chapel at 1800. If you're interested in that, we need to know fairly quickly, as they're taking reservations for that. You can contact our RSO office on JBLM. Next slide. For the Protestant combined ecumenical, we've got 2 services. Good Friday at Main Post Chapel. The big change on the Easter sunrise service is going to be at Main Post Chapel. You've seen some other slides, announcements where it was going to be out at Watkins Field, but we've been told there's going to be some construction going on out in that area during that time frame, so we're going to go ahead and move it indoors, and we'll celebrate Easter inside this year. So we've got one other announcement. I've got a young battalion chaplain. He's our senior pastor at our liturgical service, and he's going to announce another Lenten special opportunity, a healthy walk.
If you would go back one slide, I want to point it out on here. I'm Chaplain Schaefer, the 502nd Expeditionary MI Battalion, and pastor over at our Liturgical Protestant Service. And we're going to be giving an incredible opportunity and devotional hike that's the Stations of the Cross hike over at McKay Marsh Creek Trail. So that's a trail that's right across the street from the Fort Lewis Museum. It's a 2-mile loop. And on April 17th, from 6:30 in the morning through 1300 that day, we'll have this devotional hike going on, starting at 6:30 with the hope that chaplains will be able to take some of their soldiers out as an opportunity for a devotional PT. And then we're going to keep it open all the way through the lunch break. That way, if soldiers and airmen want to go out and meet their families through the lunch break, they can do that as well. It takes about an hour to walk it and do the devotions. There traditionally is 14 stations, and so they'll be marked along the trail. We have those devotions we're going to be putting up on the All Trails app for those that use their phone. And for those that don't, that's okay because it's a self-guided hike, and so you'll receive a little map with the 14 stations of the cross and their scriptural references. And then as you make your way around to the different waypoints or different stations, there'll be a devotion with the scripture and a little reflection and prayer. And so hopefully this will be a great opportunity after you've eaten some cookies to come and work on a spiritual practice and prep your hearts for the Easter season. We hope to see you and your families out on the trail that day. Thank you, and God bless.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jan Yandel. I work at the McChord Main Exchange, and happy Tuesday, or Wednesday, off the day. Just a few updates here, just to remind everybody. The Charlie's in the Exchange no longer does breakfast as of the 1st of April, but you can still get breakfast at Burger King, Subway, and of course our favorite, Starbucks. Okay. Some of the ongoings at the McChord Main Exchange is we are again celebrating the month of the military child. On the 6th, which is Saturday, we'll be giving away both at Lewis and McChord Main Exchanges patches to the kids. There's also some other pins and things like that that can be purchased. They're not too much as far as price-wise, but they will be giving out the patches. Both stores have a Lego event on the same day. The time is to be determined at McChord, and then Lewis's starts at 11. Let's see here. Our outdoor grand opening for both stores is on the 13th of April. That's your garden shop. I'm sure a lot of people have already been cutting grass and working in their yards with all the gorgeous weather. So that's on the 13th, and different time frames for both stores. We have a fashion show coming up, both at Lewis and McChord. I know we have all our nice models, male and female and kids have signed up for it, so it should be another fun event for both stores. And then 13th for both stores, we have a Play-Doh event at both ones. Date's the same. Lewis has times, but we do not yet. That should be all put out. The times to be determined should be put out this week. And then again, don't forget, bring the kids to the Nerf events. I think they enjoy those things there. And we have to meet the managers. But we do have these updates posted at both stores and stuff. And if all else fails, if you have any questions, just contact the stores, or when you're in there, stop by, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. One of the big things, Anthony's Pizzas went away at the main store at McChord here. The Freshens, they're working on the construction. They're hoping to get that open soon. They're thinking maybe mid-April. And that's supposed to give us some healthier choices too, salads, yogurts. I mean, I've never eaten there myself, but I've heard it's got good food. So we look forward to that. Other than that, I want to remind everybody there's a brigade quartermaster event at Vendor Show. It's going to be at Lewis MCS. That's the 2nd of April between 10 and 5. And at North Fort Lewis Express, the 4th of April, 10 to 5. And then we have our book signing at Lewis Main Store. And you can receive autographed copies. So they should be coming. So that's all I've got. And again, like I said, if there's any questions, you can contact either main store, and yeah, so we can help. Okay, thank you. Oh, commissary. There you go.
Good morning, Mike Cruz from McChord Commissary. On behalf of the Month of the Military Child, there will be Chef Dave will be coming to Lewis, Maine on April 11th at 10 a.m. And at McChord Field, April 11th at 12 p.m. He does various cooking demos for the kids. So if you want to stop by, if your kid is off that day, but the child care will be there also. It's a great event from Chef Dave, and he's sponsored by Spokane Produce. Next slide. The kids run, it's been said numerous times, 9 a.m. at Cohen Stadium. Please sign up. This is a yearly event that's been sponsored by Spokane Produce, and the exchange and the commissary also is in there, MWR. It's a good event, so if you have kids coming out, please stop by the commissaries. The sign-up forms are at the main entrance. Next slide. The Military Appreciation Sidewalk Sale. Again, this is like the K-Slot sale that we normally have yearly. They just renamed it. But for the McChord Field Commissary, May 1st to the 4th, it will be at the back of the commissary in the warehouse. And Lewis, Maine Commissary, it would be in their warehouse also, 17th to the 20th. Any questions? Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Laura Basie. I'm with the Lewis Community Spouses Club, and we're talking about two things today. First, we are working on building our board for next year. So I want you to kind of put us in your pocket of resources for those spouses who are out there who are new to JBLM, who have been here for a while and are just looking for something to do, who are looking to build their resume. We are building our board. So the great thing about the military, right, the Spouses Club, is there are no ranks. There are ladies and gentlemen from, I just did an event where I sat next to two 22-year-olds, and I don't even want to think about the fact my husband's almost about to hit 20. So we got the full range of ages and ladies and gentlemen from all over. So you get to connect with those spouses, you get to get ideas from those spouses. And then my favorite part, as first VP, what do? I raise the money, and I do it with y'all. We just had our ACE night last month, and with y'all's help, we raised over $26,000. Now we get to give that money back through grants, through scholarships. So this is a great way, when my husband's off doing his thing and his mission, that I get to turn around and make a difference in my community where I'm at as well. So I encourage you to talk to your spouses in your units about that opportunity, about helping out where you're at and making your mark where you're at. We're only at certain places for a short time. It is everyone. It is retiree spouses. It is brand new spouses. It is Marine Corps spouses and Air Force spouses. It's everyone. So if you're interested, we have our website, lewiscommunityspousesclub.org. Applications are going out now, but it'll continue through the summer. Any way you want to get involved, we have working spouses too, daytime events, evening events. We don't have cookies, but we are about to have all-you-can-eat breadsticks at salad at Olive Garden, so there's that. And yeah, any questions? I'm here. I got my shirt if you need to find me. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Moira Neal. I'm with the Red Cross Service to the Armed Forces, and I know I'm last, so I'll be super quick. There's three things I want to talk to you about today. One is our annual Sound the Alarm campaign. Just a few fast facts for you. Every day, 7 people die in a home fire. And since 2015, the Red Cross in the Pacific Northwest have installed over 21,000 smoke alarms, making over 8,600 households safer and serving over 20,000 people. And about 1,000 of those are military. And this is where the next slide comes in, because we want to increase that number a little bit. So for the first time, we are bringing the Sound the Alarm campaign to JBLM. Camp Murray is hosting this event on 7 May from 1200 to 1630. We are asking service members, and we already have some volunteers, to install smoke alarms in the communities surrounding JBLM, the ones that specifically affect our service members. If you are interested in volunteering, please call our office 253-966-3889. Next slide. I will be brief on this one as well because you have this flyer on your table. The Madigan Summer Youth Program is open to the key things for you to know. Military youth 14 to 17 years of age must be ID card holders. And the applications went live on Monday, April 1st, and they will be accepted until May 1st. So your youth has the entire month of April to get this application filled out and turned in. You can access the application on our Facebook page at JBLM Red Cross, or you can send us an email, jblm@redcross.org. Next slide. Last but not least, we're always looking for volunteers. Our next orientation is on the 17th of April. A lot of stuff going on that day. I think that's when the Spouses Club is having their next luncheon. So come by our main office. 09 to 1100 is the orientation, and then you can go to do a tour of Italy with Olive Garden Community Spouses Club. If you have any questions, please email us, jblm@redcross.org. Thank you.
All right, so we got our next update on 1 May of this year, 2019. Any questions before we turn over for closing remarks? What you got? Let's get you a mic. It's just we're all being recorded.
So, Master Run from 6th Sector MDS Surge. So, just wonder if you can provide some insight on the sale of OCP or CPs, the uniform wear. So, when Joint Base might open that up to the sale of all service members versus particular rank.
Okay, as far as for the Air Force?
Yes, sir.
Right now, actually, Chief, do you have anything on that?
So that's going to come down from Big Air Force. They're coordinating, I believe, if you look in the Air Force uniform side off the Air Force portal, they have the current schedule of when different AAFES establishments are going to be selling OCPs. Right now, I don't believe we're on there, or I don't think JBLM is on that master schedule, but it should be. I think the goal is by 2021 they're going to be able to get them anywhere. But what I'll do is I'll look that up and I'll follow back up with you.
Yes, sir, because that schedule basically identified April being a month that the JBLMs, or excuse me, the McChord side will also have those for sale. It didn't have a specified date, but it said the month of April that they would be selling them on OCPs on the McChord side, and that has not, come to fruition as of yet. But in addition to that, we were under the impression that because it would be available on McChord side, it would also be available through Joint Base as well on Lewis side, and folks are going there and being turned away essentially. So just trying to get some clarification as to when that, like I said, the sale of those OCPs will become open to all ranks.
Sure, we'll follow up with AVs and find out if the linkage there is broken and see if we can get something out to you.
Okay, sir.
Hey, but one thing you do bring a point is to clarify is, so for Air Force members who have already been issued OCPs for deployments, and if they are deploying out of here, we can get them OCPs. So they can wear them that way, but if they're not, don't have deployment orders, until we can figure out exactly when that opens up, they can't buy them right now. So just want to make sure that was clear. Any other questions? Okay, Colonel Furman, do you have any closing remarks? All right. And General closing remarks from the Corps? Okay, the team will be remaining back here if you have any other questions, and we will see you on the next community update. Thank you.